Hello and welcome back to another episode of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about the Stanford Cardinal 2022 recruiting class is our host, Mr. Logan Landers. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Talking about Stanford today. It's gonna be fun. They got a lot of recruits. I can't wait to get into them. And man, they need some help on their team. It's been a little bit down in the dumps recent years. They're hoping these recruits is going to be the class that can pick them up back into the upper echelon, the upper tier of the Pac-12. We'll see what they can do.
Absolutely. And before we get started, I just wanted to mention to anyone who's not super familiar with the Stanford Cardinal, singular Cardinal, is this great logo. You've got the S and you've got this tree. Okay, so why are they called Cardinal with singular instead of the Cardinals? And why is there a tree on their logo? And what does it all mean? Okay, so we were talking about this a little beforehand because I wasn't super familiar with this team or their logo or why it was a tree. But the story is actually pretty interesting. So Stanford is situated near Palo Alto, California, and the El Palo Alto tree is a redwood tree that's part of that deciduous forest that's all around them. And so a cardinal in this case is referring to the bright red color, the color cardinal, which is similar to the color of a cardinal, like the songbird that we are used to hearing about and is pretty prominent in a lot of mascots. So the Stanford Cardinal means Stanford Cardinal is basically the Stanford color red. And by that cardinal meaning and referring to the El Palo Alto tree, which are these redwood trees that are near Stanford. So when you see them on the field, you may see a giant red tree just with no arms, just running around on the field, and that is their unofficial mascot. They do not have an official mascot for the Stanford Cardinal. So I just wanted to talk about that for a second because I think it's a very interesting, facet of their history and something that's great. And I'll just tell you this: I like trees. I'm a pretty naturey guy myself. So shout out for unofficially having a tree as your mascot, Stanford Cardinal. So Logan Landers, what do these great players coming out of high school, coming from other colleges, and coming into Stanford have to look forward to as they join the Cardinal?
All right, let me throw it up here. Also, you don't get that kind of knowledge here on any other podcast. Only right here at 100 Yards of Football, we learn about the history of the Stanford Cardinal, the team, the no mascots, right? And most importantly, the amazing nature around it. So that's what we do here on the show.
Absolutely.
But here we are here with the Stanford Cardinal team in 2022. They're ranked 15th nationally, first in the Pac-12. And so they're looking great there under Coach David Shaw. They needed some help, and it looks like they are going to get it. All right, on to this team and who all they've got. Before we get to the guys who signed, let's get to the guys who are moving over. We have one transfer by the name of Patrick Fields coming from Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma, coming over to play for Stanford. He's a safety. Two hard commits who have yet to sign that piece of paper to come on over and play with the Stanford Cardinal. We have Jason Thompson, who's a wide receiver, and Colin Wright, who's a safety. Wright coming from Texas and Thompson from California. So we'll see if those guys decide if they want to come on over or not. But let's get to the guys who have signed that paper and are going to be future Stanford Cardinal members. We have Charlie Miller, 6'6", 225, a quarterback from Cathedral Catholic High School in San Diego, California. Not ranked nationally, doesn't have any numbers on him, but that doesn't mean he still can't have a stellar career. We'll see what he can do in his career. We have Matt Rose, the linebacker, not ranked, but he's a three-star recruit, 6'2", 205, from Brecksville, Broadway Heights in Broadview Heights, Ohio. He is not ranked nationally, like I said, 150th in his position and 48th in his state. Looking at there, another linebacker joining him is Benjamin Hudson from Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. 6'2", 210, a three-star recruit, not ranked, 149th in his position and 15th in his state. Defensive line by the name of Pat Coey is up next from Del Barton School in Morristown, New Jersey. 6'4", 6'4 and a half, 6'5 on dating apps, 235, a three-star recruit. He's not ranked nationally, 155th in his position, 28th in his state. An athlete by the name of Terrian Williams, so the second from Johns Creek High School in Alpharetta, Georgia. An athlete who's 5'11", 175, a three-star recruit. Not ranked nationally, 73rd in the position and 103rd in the state. So big shout out to Mr. Williams II. But he's also going to be joined by another Georgia native from Buford High School in Buford, Georgia, by the name of Ashton Daniels, a quarterback who's 6'3", 200 pounds, a 3-star recruit, 962nd ranked national player, 62nd in his position, and 96th in the state. So we'll see what those two Georgia natives are going to be doing up there for Stanford. We have Alik Iomaner up next from Deerfield Academy in Deerfield, Massachusetts. A wide receiver who's 6'2", 205, a 3-star recruit also, 877th ranked national player, 128th in the position, and 8th out of his state in the wide receiving corps. Looking solid there. We have another offensive tackle who's going to try and protect the future quarterbacks with Jake McCullough from Valor Christian High School in Littleton, Colorado. He's 6'5", 265, so a little bit more on the lean side. 3-star recruit, 826 is his national rank, 70th in his position, and 3rd out of the state of Colorado. So we'll see what he can do there. A little bit more on the leaner side as opposed to on the bigger size we see for offensive linemen. So hopefully that just means that lesser weight means more strength. Zach Roll is up next, the defensive lineman from Torrey Pines High School in California. Coming up next, he's 6'5", 260, looking good there. A 3-star recruit, 705th is his national rank, 102nd in his position, and 56th in his state. Looking solid there, like the size of the young man. Joining the O-line is Kenji Swanson, from the offensive tackle, 6'6", 307, from Sierra Canyon High School in Chatsworth, California. A 3-star recruit, 699th ranked national player, 57th in his position, and 55th in his state. So looking good there. The offensive tackle, great size on him. Liked what he can do. We'll see what he can do as a Cardinal. Joshua Thompson, the cornerback, up next, 6'2", 185, from St. John's High School from Washington, D.C., a 3-star recruit, 681st ranked national player, 67th in his position, and number 1 out of the state of course, Washington, D.C. So looking good there. And we'll see what he can do as a future cornerback for the Stanford Cardinal. We have a tight end by the name of C.J. Hawkins from Berkeley Prep High School in Tampa, Florida. He's 6'6", 220, good size on him. A little bit on the smaller side of tight ends. He's a 3-star recruit, 647th ranked national player, 32nd in his position, and 92nd in his state. Looking good there. Joining him on that receiving corps is Maduya Ruben from Park Hills South High School in Riversdale, Missouri. He's 6'3", 190, 581st ranked national player, 80th in his position, and 14th in his state. So looking solid there. We have Jackson Moye up next from Cathedral Catholic High School in San Diego. He's a defensive lineman who's 6'2", 260, a 3-star recruit, 529th ranked national player, 78th in his position, and 42nd in his position. Looking solid there. Great size in the young man, 6'2", 260. Gotta love to see it. We'll see how many sacks, tackles for losses he can rack up in his career. Back on the offensive line, we have Lucas Hayer up next from Hill Murray School in St. Paul, Minnesota. 6'5", 307. A 4-star recruit, 309th ranked national player, 24th in the position, and 1st out of his state. So great pickup here for Stanford. Like the size of the young man, we'll see how many pancake blocks maybe he can get. And most importantly, how many times he's going to be able to protect his quarterback from a sack. We have Arlen Harris Jr. from Lutheran of St. Charles County School in St. Peters, Missouri. A running back who's 5'11", 189, a 4-star recruit, 302nd ranked nationally, 27th in his position, 7th in his state. Looking good here. So we'll see how many touchdowns he can score, right? If he's going to be more of a power back. I'd say he's more of a running back just because he's a little bit on the lighter side with 189. So he'll be doing some spin moves, doing some hurdles, doing some juke moves on all the opposing defenders. You got to love to see it. We have a tight end from Lipscomb Academy in Nashville, Tennessee by the name of Sam Roosh. He's 6'5", 225, a 4-star recruit, 279th ranked national player, 11th in his position, and 8th in his state. So another Tennessee pickup here for them. Looking solid. They have Fisher Anderson from Franklin High School in Franklin, Tennessee, an offensive tackle, 6'7", 270. So they're getting some big guys here with this recruiting class. A 4-star recruit, 247th ranked national player, 19th in the position, 6th in his state of Tennessee. So they got back-to-back guys from Tennessee joining the program. And now they're going a little bit off the way. Now they're going to Tavaru Tafiti in Honolulu, Hawaii. The linebacker, who's 6'3", 222, a 4-star recruit, 243rd ranked national player, 25th in his position, and number 1 out the state of Hawaii. So we'll see what he can do there. Coming over, we'll see what he can rock with in the Stanford colors. And we have 2 more guys left. We have Ernest Cooper coming from Martin High School in Arlington, Texas. a defensive lineman, 6'4", 235, a four-star recruit, 151st ranked national player, 23rd in position, and 25th in his state. All good and well, but now we have the best recruit here according to 24/7 Sports, the four-star recruit, 71st ranked national player, 8th in position, 5th in the state, edge rusher, 6'3", 220, David Bailey from Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, California. The big guy here, and they got a lot of hype around him, and I don't blame him. I mean, he got good size, and he's ranked high in the top 100, so that means he's got a lot of pressure on him. We'll see if he can live up to it as future Stanford Cardinal. But overall, I mean, they did a great job. They got a lot of guys who were, top 5 in their states. They went all around the globe, really getting these guys. Quick breakdown. They had 6 of them come from California, 2 from Georgia, 2 from Missouri, 2 from Tennessee, 2 from Texas, 1 from Colorado, 1 from the District of Columbia, 1 from Florida, 1 from Hawaii, 1 from Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, and 1 from Ohio. So a lot of guys from a lot of different states here going to be playing together in this class of 2022. By position, they got 2 quarterbacks, a running back, 5 receivers, 4 offensive linemen, 5 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 defensive backs, and 1 guy on special teams. So they got a ton of guys here. There's a reason that they are ranked 15th nationally, number 1 in the Pac-12. It's because they absolutely ruled. They got a ton of great guys here. And I like what Stanford did. They got a bunch of guys from a lot of different states in the U.S., a lot of different positions, a lot of different high schools. And that's great because you love to see them just going all across the U.S. and getting these guys. And I like what they did here. I think that it's a good step forward for Stanford. And I'm excited to see how these young men are going to do in the very near future, rocking that great Cardinal color.
Absolutely, yeah. That Cardinal color, that red.
Yeah.
We want to see that too. And I think that everyone's looking forward to seeing what Stanford can do. This is an extremely prestigious school. So if you come here for football, you know what you're coming for. You're coming for this combination of incredible education, incredible, honestly, party atmosphere from what I've heard, and then just an incredible school where you can be in this just an amazing part of California, close to the Palo Alto, where all the Silicon Valley things are happening, and all the amazing tech startups are at.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're, want to be a football player here, then you're probably thinking, I'm either going to have a few great years and then go into a tech field, or I'm going to really show out, get a lot of time on the field so that I can get some kind of notoriety built up for myself so I can head on towards the draft afterwards. Yeah. So there's a lot of great reasons for a Stanford Cardinal to really shine and to really do some big things coming out of their college career, whether it be going into their professional career or going on into the NFL. So those are amazing things to think about. And this is a great team. So thank you so much for breaking that down, Mr. Logan Landers. As I see this team, I just think to myself, all the fans watching our program and listening to our podcast have got to be getting very excited about what could be around the corner for the Cardinal. And so, if you're wanting to be a Cardinal or you're a Cardinal fan, then shout out to you. And if you're watching us and on our broadcast, then thank you. But if you're listening to our podcast, thank you again. Listening to our podcast and telling everyone about it by word of mouth, telling your friends and family all about 100 Yards of Football has helped us to grow immensely in the past year on our podcast, and in the past 3 years on our video broadcast, and in the past 10 plus years that we started broadcasting on AM radio. So we have been here for a long time. We're continuing to grow. We'll always be here with you with the greatest technological way of reaching you so that we can get our incredible information to you every single week. So thank you again, Mr. Logan Landers, for breaking down the Stanford Cardinal football team's recruiting class for 2022. I am your producer, Jeremiah Long, and we thank you so much for watching this live broadcast and listening to our live podcast hosted by the Believe Podcast Network. We're going to be back this evening for another live episode. Join us.